I can't lie to you, this is the first time I've been this excited and impressed with Samsung in ages. And boy, what they've done with the Fold 7 and the Flip 7, whew, yeah, I want it right now. Yes, people, Ben from Lover of Tech. If you're watching this video now, it's embargo day as of the 9th of July 2025, 3 p.m. BST, British Summertime UK, and it's all to do with our first hands-on impressions with the new Fold 7, the Flip 7, the Flip 7 FE, as well as the Watch 8 and the Watch 8 Classic. But you know what, let's just focus on the phones right now, because what they've done with the Fold 7, boy, it's like having that friend that you ain't seen for a good amount of time come back transformed and it's new. And I did not know this is what I wanted from a Fold, because what they've done with slimming it down and everything that they've done to improve it, oh, my S25 Ultra is sweating. I might have to park that and use the Fold 7 because it's calling to me. I've not been this excited with a Fold device from Samsung since the Fold 2. Go back and watch my original unboxing for that and my review for it. And the last one I really used religiously would have probably been the Fold 4, because yeah, I got a Fold 6 here, but it didn't win me over. But now, Fold 7, yeah, let's talk about it. I've got to say, Samsung put the Fold 7 on a strict diet, because look how thin and slim it is. They did not play about at all. The form factor is nicely changed. It is bigger but thinner. Look at it. Compared to the Fold 6, the Fold 5 and the Fold 4, lucky enough to have all four of the generations lined up, the difference is huge, and I didn't think I would care this much. I remember when they said it was like, you know, it's going to be slimmer. I was like, okay, whatever. Picked it up, and I'm like, the difference in how nice, thin, and slim it is and how well put together, they did not play about. When they say 26% thinner and lighter and all of the percentage, it's like it doesn't gauge until you hold it. Like, I was just frozen and amazed by how well put together it is. And that also affects everything else around the form factor and the display. You can see it, you can notice it. The outer display is finally usable, like 6.5 inches. The width is usable like a normal smartphone. Well, what that basically means is, in the display, it is a legit 8-inch display now. Now, I've always loved this, because when you're using the device with things like YouTube, you're able to just read your comments while still getting the full horizontal experience as intended. That's one of the best things about the Fold experience. There's probably going to be some catches, and I will get to that, but you know, let me get my excitement out. The build quality, the weight, the thinness, the slimness, the form factor when it comes to the display and the usability for the outer and the inner display, take my money. Take my money. I did not realize I would be this impressed and this excited by this direction that they're taking. I've got to say, compared to this, a 1-year generational leap, it felt like how the original Fold 1 was to the Fold 2. Yeah, Samsung, you've done your bits here, and I've got to give you your props, because even how you've done it profiled with the camera bump, yeah, good stuff. Now, like I said, when it comes to the display experience, the form factor has changed. Better aspect ratio is much more usable like a normal phone. I've wanted this, and I get people like this candy bar design, but I've always said it like, yo, I'm sorry, man, give me a much more usable form factor. They've done that. It's slimmer, it's wider, it's better. The inner display really, you know what? I'm just speechless. They did the thing. And they also did the thing. There's a catch. 2 things you're going to notice about the display experience. UDC, the under display camera, is gone. Yeah, it is gone. So we're not getting that all screen experience like we really wanted to, and we've been used to for so long since they introduced that. On top of that, just for the record, there's no more S Pen support. Now, that's some of the sacrifices that's come so far when it comes to really putting the Fold 7 on a strict diet. There's no more S Pen support. I'm less bothered by that, if I'm going to be honest with you. It's the UDC that I was a bit more bothered about, but what you're going to notice is what they've done with the camera improvement, I think more than makes up for it, you know, because let's actually run into that. Cameras. biggest upgrade we've seen to the Fold in about flipping time. We have been waiting for flipping time, actually. That's a pun for the next device that we're going to be talking about. But we've been waiting for this camera upgrade, Samsung. This is what they've actually finally done. We've got 4 new cameras in total. The main camera is now 200 megapixels. They've learned from what they actually did with the S25 Edge in terms of the packaging of the larger megapixel sensor and also the larger sensor itself, 4 times more detail, 44% brighter. This is something that we needed. This main camera needed the flagship upgrade to match what you're getting in terms of the experience that you have on an Ultra, and we have it here. There is that 12 megapixel ultra wide as well. I wish it was a 50 megapixels, but at least this is improved in terms of autofocus, the wider field of view, larger sensor, and the better detail. And then because the UDC camera is gone, you do have a new 10 megapixel selfie, which is larger, better, and a much more detailed sensor that you're getting out of it. So compared to the 4 megapixel UDC, this is just miles better, and that also translates to the cover display selfie as well. Now this is the advantage you're getting. You're getting true 8K video at 30 fps with no crop to the field of view, with image stabilization, with log, and high dynamic range 10-bit footage. This is flagship stuff that we wanted on the camera, on the Fold. Thank you for giving this to us. And one thing I love is the fact that the seamless usability when it comes to the user zoom slider, and also the fact that when you're switching between the lenses on the rear, you can switch at the same time onto the new inner display camera 4K 60 and to the outer. The seamlessness of how you switch through when using a camera, having this type of flexibility is great, and I've wanted this. They've done it. So the sacrifice of the UDC to get the flexibility, I'm taking it. And boy, I can't wait to run this through my camera comparison. So if you want to see a definitive one, be sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss the slew of videos coming on the Fold 7, from the battery test, the charging test, the camera comparison, our cinematic review, our day in the life, and all the things that you want to see. Let me know in the comment section below. We've got a list lined up for you, and I'm just hyped for it. So yeah, the camera improvement, I am buzzing for how good it's going to be in terms of the improvement. Now for the specs of the performance, we do have the Snapdragon 8 Elite chipset for Galaxy. Now I do believe this is probably like a slightly modified version for the Fold. I've been seeing this being a regular thing. They didn't really clarify on that, but regardless, it's the 8 Elite. It's the best chipset on Android at the minute. But one thing I'm really happy is that there is the 3 SKUs with 12 gigs of RAM, 256 gigs of storage, 12 gigs of RAM, 512 gigs of storage, and then there is 16 gigabytes of RAM and 1 terabyte of storage. I've said this, man, you're getting into Fold territory, might as well just give us a 16 gig when you get to the top, and they've done it, and I appreciate that, Samsung. So performance wise, I'm definitely excited to see what we're going to be able to do here. So yeah, I'm going to put through its paces for, especially when it comes to the day in the life where we get to the gaming experience with the inner display and the performance and the efficiency that comes with it. Yeah, I'm really hyped for this one. It's a good look here. Now I will say this, when it comes to the battery, it is the same capacity, 4,400 milliamps. There isn't anything of news of things like, silicon carbon, but Samsung have really prided themselves in terms of their safety checks, making sure that you get the same efficiency, if not from what they're touting, improved battery life. But best believe I've got the Fold 6 and I've got the Fold 5, so watch out for our extreme battery drain test on mobile data and also our day in the life. I'm going to be the one to put on the test, so you know me, when it comes to doing my battery testing indoors and real world, I don't play about it. So I'm going to put that to the test. But I'll be honest with you, if it's the same battery life, which is going to probably be around 6 hours of straight screen on time, I don't know, I'm gonna take it. I'm okay with that. Even if, and I know, you don't have to hold me accountable for this, because it sounds like I'm probably being a Samsung apologist here, but even if it was slightly worse, sign me up, because I'm telling you, the form factor is a massive win, and apparently the charger is meant to be much more faster, more efficient within the same specification that we've got there from before. So I'm gonna put that to the test. But you know what, yeah, what they've done here is great. I'm not gonna lie, I know I'm sounding very hyped and excited. I am a bit like on the caution side for the battery, as well as obviously what they've done with not putting the S Pen and the UDC being going, but that's my initial critiques, and I'm gonna put it out there so it doesn't seem like, oh, it's a perfect device. But This is the most excited I've been for Fold in ages. Now, software-wise, look, I ain't really the guy for software too tough no more, man. I've kind of owned it where my space is. But I would say one thing that really surprised me is, guess what? It's Android 16 at the box with One UI 8. I'm not even gonna lie. I thought that was something that was gonna be for next year's S series flagship. Did not expect to see Android 16 with how they do their rollout on the folds right now. And I get One UI 8 beta has been rolling out and it's been covered and stuff, but I didn't think they would turn it around so quickly. So that's a good look. That's a really, really, really good look. So eager to put that to the test and see what that will be like in terms of all the AI features and stuff that comes with it, with multitasking on a fold. But generally speaking, it's Android 16 out of the box with One UI 8. So yeah, like my thoughts on the Fold 7, if you couldn't tell already, yeah, I'm hyped for it. So yeah, watch this space because it's political. I'm carrying an iPhone 16 Pro Max. That one has kind of got to be there, even though I'm not an iPhone person, but it's my S25 Ultra that is breaking a sweat right now because this has been so solid and I don't want to retire it so quickly, and it just shows how the Fold is back in business. So I'm really, really hyped about that. Now, quick mention of the Flip 7. Two of them actually. You've got the standard Flip 7 and you've got the Flip 7 FE. Now the Flip 7 has got an even better makeover. The outer cover display, 4.1 inches, all screen, and it even wraps around the cameras. Yes, and even then, what they've done is improve the form factor, where it's a 21:9 aspect ratio. It's a 6.9 inch display. It's still roughly around 1080p, 120 hertz, and all the things that come with, the display of being, dynamic AMOLED 2X and all of that. So I don't want to bore you with that, but the outer cover display, being all screen, about flipping time. It needed it, right? And it just looks good. And everything else around it is very, very nice packaged. And obviously, it's what we love from the Flip. The display is good. Large outer cover display, that's all screen now. We love to see it. Better aspect ratio, larger display. Everything is ticking the boxes. When we get to the performance though, the chipsets are different. Yeah, we've got Exynos 2500. It isn't Snapdragon powered. I don't know how I feel about that. I don't. But you see, in my performance and battery testing, if I'm going to give you an example, the S24 base model small one, Exynos 2400, outperformed in battery the Snapdragon 8 Elite on the S25. Check my battery drain test results. So I don't know, this might have been something that they've pulled off for this year. So I'm going to be interested to see how that will work out when it comes to the performance, battery, and day in the live testing. So watch out for that when I get my review unit for it. So that's been a very interesting one, so specs and performance wise, still 12 gigs of RAMs and stuff. So that's interesting. It's just been a very divisive one that they've done with this when it comes to not being Snapdragon powered. So let's see how the audience responds to this and how it actually holds up. But overall, this is something that we're familiar with when it comes to the Flip 7. Camera, the same thing, 50 megapixel, 12 megapixel, 10 megapixels. So 50 megapixel main, 12 megapixel ultra wide, as well as you've got the 10 megapixels selfie. Now, what's good is you've got 4K 60 all around. You've got the seamless switching of the lenses without having to stop recording, which is one thing I love. Obviously, when you're on the outer cover display, you have to be careful of the aspect ratios to get the full resolution. So make sure that you go into the aspect ratio and change it from full to 16:9 or 9:16 to be able to get the full 4K resolution. So that's something that is still there. And I hope that's something they work on communicating it better, because most people don't know it. When you go into full screen, you're limited to like 1080p. So the camera is something where, because of the lack of a zoom, it's still not much of an interest to me as a device that I would love to use. And I'm being dead serious. I wish they got rid of the ultra wide, made the main wide sensor a bit wider. Give me a 4x zoom, for real. Like, life without a zoom is not something I can really live with. But you know what? Away from all of that so we can actually get through it. Battery. 4,400 milliamps now. Actually, no, 4,300 milliamps. So it's only a 100 milliamp difference to the Fold 7. This is 300 milliamps more than previously from last year. So I'm telling you this now. I'm going to try and put them together. I think I can get that to the Fold Flip 4, 5, 6, and 7, and see 4 generations, how it's improved. This is a big upgrade in battery that we really needed. So this is a good look. I'm really glad they focused on it. I believe charging is still 25 watts, but they've made it much more efficient. And I noticed this as something they did in the S25 Ultra as well, where, yeah, it's still 45 watt charging, but made it much more efficient, charges much quicker. So hopefully we see the same thing here with the Flip 7. Really liking everything I'm seeing here when it comes to it. Now, the Flip 7 FE, call this I guess the Flip 6 reincarnated. You know, everything that you see here is what we actually know from the Flip 6, 2 colors, which is obviously the black and the white. It's got 8 gigabytes of RAM rather than 12, 4,000 milliamp hour battery. It's Exynos 2400 powered, so it's Exynos as well, no Snapdragon. It does support 4K 60 video recording on all the camera lenses, but it does have the limited usability where you can't switch between the lenses seamlessly in 4K 60. If you want seamless lens switching when recording video, you have to record in 4K 30, so that's a shame. And I think that's a limitation of the chipset of the Exynos 2400 from what I remember. So that's something that's there, but overall that's a quick glance. And of course there is the Watch 8 and a Watch 8 Classic as well, so definitely now I might do a separate video for that one, but I really wanted to focus on the phones and the devices here. Let me wrap this up so my excitement doesn't get too far ahead of me when it comes to what they are doing here, because Lord knows, Samsung, I'm ready for you to take my money. I can't wait. I've not been this excited when it comes to a fold, especially fold. I'm a fold connoisseur. I like the idea of the flip, but without the zoom, it don't really do it for me. Yes, the 3x zoom didn't get improved, and I'm hoping next year they put 5x in it and really improve it. But for now, what we're getting here is impressive. It's still an expensive device though. In UK, they've kept the prices the same, base starting at £1,799, goes up to £2,149, but at least there is 16 gigabytes of RAM with the 1 terabyte. And same with the Flip, you know, £1,049 for the base model, and then it goes up to £1,149. And the Flip 7 FE, that's £849 and £899. With the Flip 7 FE, I kind of wish the price point was £749 with an extra £50, making it £799 in my opinion. I think that's what would have really made it a fan edition, but it is what it is when it comes to the pricing right now. Pre-order incentives are going to be there. I'm telling you this now, man. My S25 Ultra is feeling threatened and sweating. I might have to park it because I'm truly that impressed so far with the Fold 7. Shortcomings or not, I'll be honest with you. This is the one. This is Samsung that has put a smile on my face. I'm loving what I'm seeing here. Can't wait to get it into test. So watch out for the reviews. Make sure you like, subscribe, and turn the notifications so you don't miss it. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Ben from Lover of Tech signing out. Peace.